Hi, everyone. This is Vicente Cruz, Oakland Greens Event and Fundraising Coordinator, and with our small meeting today, but we're going to try and get through some discussion items today. And it shouldn't be a long video, but a lot of stuff has happened in the world, and so just jump right into it. And you were going to start us off, Bill, please.
Okay. One thing that at least the county is already on record for, and presumably Oakland Greens will be, is the you know disarm campaign about the airport and the materials going out um, to the Israeli military, specifically. Parts for the F-95 fighters, which are the main weapon doing the bombing. Anyway, we even though there's a lot of research, we don't need to review that. But there was a press conference Thursday that we publicized, and we want people to be supportive of this. Is something that it's not just a Bay Area thing, but it's gotten national and by extension international um, visibility. The second thing, I know I'm bouncing around, but since we're having a truncated meeting now, it's I guess I'm not sure I could say it's linked to the Jimmy Kimmel thing, but in a way it is. There's a person who is a professor at Texas State University, um, and an open socialist, and um, who was fired recently. His name is Tom Alter, um, and uh, unlike some of the other efforts to shut people up, where they say, "Oh, well, he's not, really teaching properly or whatever," they came straight out and said, basically, we're firing you because you're a socialist. and,
Well, that's
um, and while the others are terrible, I think this is a campaign that um, we need to help publicize. And I confess that he belongs to a group that uh, in well, not even indirectly, but anyway, the the organizations I'm involved in have links to. But beyond that, there's nothing in his record other than being a rabble rouser, that would justify this. So I'll keep you informed. We're hoping he'll be on Democracy Now this week, but it's an important case, and the Kimmel case actually is, uh, even if
but
we
Bill,
don't,
wait. But before you switch to Kimmel, can I ask a question about the guy
of
who got
course, of
fired?
course.
Yeah, so maybe it's a two-part question. One is, um, did he have tenure? What was his tenure
Oh,
status?
yeah, tenure.
And the other is about, was he part of a union and what's the union doing?
Yeah, no, good questions. Um, he, I should have included all that, but I was trying to be brief. Yeah, he is both part of the AAUP. They're taking action and the, you know contacting their members throughout the country. I believe AAUP is now also linked to the AFT, but anyway, regardless, and he's part of the state. I mean, the Texas State Employees Association. They're all supporting him, and he is tenured. He's written a number of um, uh, well respected things on the history of, um, bourgeois left politics, not left politics, just politics in the U.S. Um,
All
he,
right, well then, so since he has representation, it sounds like it's going to be a significant case to,
that's right,
both
exactly.
on tenure, academic freedom, and all that stuff. So.
That's right.
Right.
I just wanted
Okay.
to inform you, and I agree. I think it's a case. Not to say the other cases aren't important, but the fact, as you said, that he's someone who has tenure, who has credibility, and admittedly an open socialist. That it harkens back to the 1950s, obviously, and so I just wanted to mention that tonight.
Right. So it'll be national attention. Right. Before we go, it's also about freedom of speech before Kimmel, but it's more connected to Texas. So and Dale was going to be here. Shout out to all them and hopefully everybody that's all of our family that's in hope. But anyway, but that a professor at Texas A&M for mentioning they were doing a teaching about the LGBTQ community, and it was when they went into the discussions about trans people and community, they ended up firing him too. That particular professor does not have tenure, but they did get fired over it. So it's like
Mm.
and it's coming, right? Which then ties into Jimmy Kimmel getting canceled, Stephen Colbert getting canceled, and well, and then there was the put out too that people thought that Jon Stewart came hard against it and Fallon went soft. Right. I didn't think so. They did the same thing, but Jon Stewart's was longer. And then, of course, Colbert, right, on his, he went back to his Colbert Report character, and they did the segment called "The Word," about pretty much about stifling free speech, and just watch what you say. Anything that critical is not compared. I also watched another video commentary about it where they were like, oh, and all of a sudden now the tables have switched. So now you have all these like fascist groups going, oh my gosh, you're stifling, free speech from the left, everything, which is not
Right.
but I think that is just a sign of things to come. And I just keep waiting, hey, want to beat the dead Klansmen, but when will it be enough? I hope that the general strike on October 18th, I hope it gains a huge amount of traction, but I just don't see it happening, right? And by the
I
time
think it'll be massive, but
No, wait. No. There's an October 18th protest, but I've heard nothing about a general strike.
that's what it is. That's what it is. No,
Are you
no,
serious? Are they calling for a general strike across the unions? Labor unions aren't
no,
calling for
no.
no,
this.
no, no. The unions, no. No, but all of the pages on October 18th, I've seen flyers for no work, no account, like a buy nothing day.
All right.
So, and you should. If it's not, then I'm doing it right now, right? And like you don't come out, don't do anything, don't spend any money, don't do a fucking thing. When is it enough? Just answer my why. Why won't anyone answer my questions? That's all I want to know. Like I was like, I can go whatever way the river's going, but I kind of want to know why the river's going that way. I don't know if that's too much on me. Um, but do you all think that it'll be more like all of a sudden Stewart and like, well, I guess we have to look and see which companies have mergers on the table.
Well,
Because
I think that's really a large part of this agenda. It's not just, even though people think, oh well, Trump's being Trump, he's trying to slap down, anyone critical of him. Well, yeah, but the bigger issue is this merger, which would give they have to get a waiver from the government to do it, but it would give whatever this entity will be, like close to 80% control.
right, which should not be anyway. They shouldn't get it. No
They
one should.
shouldn't get it
In fact,
right.
we want to do the opposite. We'd like to see things
Right.
to smaller fucking local.
So, they're trying to, uh, just like they did with the universities. On the other hand, Disney is, what I heard, is hemorrhaging massively now. People are dropping out. There were so many people calling to drop the Disney membership that the
Right,
system crashed.
right, right. it's funny what it'll get. Like I said, I want to know when is it enough?
Right.
Hopefully,
So Disney now is trying to negotiate a way to bring it back somehow, and claim that they're putting whatever restrictions. I don't know.
I'm surprised they just don't all go independent. Like,
Right.
okay, we're just going to do like what Conan's doing, right? It's a show, but it's really just a podcast with a video camera, right? There's no
Right.
set, no band, just coming on and talking, so and interviewing people. So I mean, we'll see how bad it gets, but yeah. Anyway, other things on that too is like so there's the 70% cuts to the State Department's sex trafficking department, human trafficking department.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, so now what's really happening again? It's like the all of the anti-LGBTQ plus laws that are initiated way too often, the people that are writing the legislation turn out, oh wait, you're in the closet. Like you have either got some weird guilt or something religious, whatever reason. You're actually in the community, but you're not, and you're making it up too. So now it's the same thing. So all these people, why they won't release the files, the pedophiles are actually running the fucking country, right? So they're like, oh, well, we want to make it easier for these people to, we had to sacrifice Epstein, right? To fucking to
Right.
the altar of society, but no, we still want to be able to have sex with our 16-year-old girls and 18-year-old girls as us creepy 80-year-old men,
Did you hear how that was tied into the Charlie Kirk killing? That
no.
the Tyler Robinson, the guy who's being accused, he well, let me just back to Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk himself apparently was calling for the Epstein files to be released, right? And so obviously, Trump and right wingers supporting Trump didn't want the Epstein files to be released. So, that's another aspect of some people are saying why there was pressure for shutting Charlie Kirk up because they didn't want him to talk about releasing the Epstein files.
Right. He was, when they were campaigning on it, he did it. And then when Trump said, you still talking about Epstein, he backtracked and then flipped again because his supporters were like, what? And then the other side of that too, other part of the conspiracy theory, which, again, has some weight, is that there was a lot of MAGA folk that thought he was not radical enough, right? Like he wasn't
Right. Right.
fascist enough. And
Well, that's what came out early on was, but I don't know that there's a single, at this point, there's so many competing factors in this
absolutely. And because
that,
of the social media, I don't think we'll ever really know the truth. I mean, like, we don't know who killed John F. Kennedy, right?
right,
And all
right,
that shit too. I mean, we saw Robert Kennedy get killed, but we don't know exactly what type of ideology. But one thing I can tell you too is again, where it seems like it's the same old narrative that the American public are just like, oh, thank goodness it's that again. Because I'm not buying that I haven't heard anything that this kid had any marksmanship training. And I don't know for anybody else who's actually been in a physical fight or ever hunted, right? As a person, as a human being, you have to get over a certain moral line to take a life,
right.
even an animal. There's a great scene in Higher Learning where this guy's talking about, oh man, I could shoot him, I could shoot him. And the leader of the fascists is all like, fuck you, you're full of shit. I was like, have you ever really seen what a bullet does? Have you ever just shot a piece of meat? Like just went and bought like a big old flank of steak and shot it and see what a
Right.
bullet does to flesh, right? It's not as easy as people think, and they're telling us this kid is just some disgruntled, disillusioned kid from, a radical right family. I'm like, yeah, okay, well, I haven't heard anything about that. But I mean, obviously he is I think Kirk is a political figure, and people who say that he's not, they're wrong. I mean, just like Martin Luther King was or Malcolm X was, they never ran for office, but
Right.
and his funeral was today.
Yeah, today it was probably the largest fascist rally in the history of this
Yep,
country.
absolutely. Religious
How
too.
many people were there?
Oh, it was in wasn't it in was a baseball stadium, Texas or something like that? So what did
Yeah.
we like 70,000, something like that? Yeah, you
And
know,
there people
let's
couldn't
find
get
out.
in. I mean, who came?
Absolutely. Let's
And then not just locally. I mean, they came from all over the country.
right.
I mean, it's what what can you say in terms of we can explain,
200,000.
we can explain factors that have led people to move to the right. Nonetheless, the fact that this guy, was able to, with all the hate and all the viciousness that he spread, um, was able to build this massive organization. And you can say, well, undoubtedly he got funding from a variety of right wing sources and so.
But
It's
still, they
still
do it. Yeah,
hard to,
all of them.
yeah,
How do you think Trump got elected? He mobilized all those fucking prejudiced, ignorant motherfuckers and got them all
right,
together,
right,
right? They're doing the good playbook, but we can't for whatever reason. And it's always been my thing is that I think we weren't fuck you enough. And I think the right proved that, like Trump and all that, because how did he do it? Like, oh, them motherfucker, and we need to be no man, the fascists are coming for your money. They're coming for
right.
you, right? But anyway.
And all these people who said, well, the Democrats are the lesser evil, missed the point.
Yeah,
Democrats,
absolutely.
um, with very few exceptions, will say one thing and do something
And they're
totally
funded
the
by the
opposite.
same fucking corporations,
Right,
right? They don't care who's in power as long as they're making their money on their capitalism. They don't care about fascists. They don't care about anything. Obviously, why they're canceling, Jimmy Kimmel and Colbert and everything, right? To get their legislation put through. That's all they care about, right? And that's all it is. For whatever reason, we are greed based. But giving the Oakland Greens a shout out, for record, we've been spouting this shit since 2010. That the whole planet was starting to shift, and that if we didn't get it straight, if you don't start, and back then we were like, oh, you need to vote for our candidates, support us, support us. Now then we were like, okay, well, don't, but support anyone who's not in the same old, right? Not in the system that is not working. It's not working for you, the voter, you that coming up to us and going, oh, we'd vote for you, but. Although I'm like, these are nonpartisan races too. What do you mean, but? What the fuck? Just because you don't want someone who aligns with an alternative political party to be the mayor or city council? Like, that's stupid.
yeah.
That's fucking ignorant. And also, since we're on the record and stuff like that, I want to get it to that I did not shed a tear. I watched it live like everybody else. That's where we're at too. The revolution is going to be televised, but I don't shed a tear for fascists. Why would I do that? The only sympathy I had was for his kids, right? I have no sympathy for his wife. She knew what kind of motherfucker she was when she married him, right?
Mm.
Um, and he's spouted some, but and what people also forget, he doxed those fucking people at UC Berkeley, and that trans person got killed. He's actually perpetrated fucking death his damn self over this fucking rhetoric, right? So no, I didn't shed a tear. Don't care. Don't.
Weren't there some lynchings? Weren't there some
Oh, that
lynchings?
we have that on the list too. Yes, the
Yeah,
right
yeah.
after in Mississippi,
Yeah.
there was two lynchings, but no, they weren't lynchings. They were suicides.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Not a step stool in sight. Motherfucker has somehow fucking got all up on those trees. All that fucking bullshit. No, it's the same old, same old. But yes, there was also 2 days like after the Kirk was assassinated, whatever. Yes, there was two lynchings, Mississippi, one at Delta State University, and then one somewhere else.
And they had to close down. How many black colleges had to close down?
Yes, for threats. Yep, I think all
Yeah,
of them. Damn near. Like
yeah.
it was quite a bit over the country, over the entire country. They decided to cancel classes because of it. And then we're back to, well, when is it enough? I want to know.
It almost feels like 911. You remember after 911, all these right-wing people started attacking Muslims or even Sikhs because they didn't know the difference between Sikhs and
Yes.
Muslims. And
Yep. Or what happened to the Asian community after COVID
hmm
too, right? There was a spike in violence and all that shit too.
God.
And just fucking, yeah, it's like they're, Well, and you know that part, the crazy people and stuff that do that, that's what happens when you cut funding to healthcare, right?
Right, right.
Education. You cut all those things out. This is the chickens coming home to roost, as fucking Ward Churchill used to say too, and Malcolm X, from fucking all the cuts when they started in the Reagan administration. This
Yeah,
is the
but
end
it's
result.
still it's the working class. The working class of the right wing working class people are attacking left wing working, and the 1% is just sitting in their mansions and laughing about the whole thing. So
Absolutely. What is it all the way back from Tammany? Somebody said too, is like, oh, you can always get one half of the poor to kill the other half.
Right,
oh
right.
Like
yeah,
there
yeah,
was
yeah,
a
right.
saying
Like
back then.
it was
Yeah.
some robber baron, some
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't Vanderbilt, but somebody like that. But
Right. Right.
anyway, yeah.
Right. Same thing.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then now also too, what's the last thing that's on the discussion portion too is that the attack we're attacking Venezuela. We're fucking bombing or we're blowing up ships in the ocean and shit like that too with fucking places like, I'm like, oh, this is gonna start, what they're gonna fight back. They have
Right.
fucking military too. You start fucking with people that actually have, military. Usually we would do countries that didn't really have much to fight us back, and now you're going to start poking bears that actually like, oh, we can shoot missiles at you too, motherfucker.
Yeah, well, in the whole approach right now is to throw as much out as possible and see
Mm,
what sticks.
right, right,
Um,
right.
they have no conception of a kind of strategic view. We can, dramatically disagree with the strategy,
Right.
but there's usually something behind it. But right now, this administration is just, oh, here's a way we can stir people up,
Right.
and have people go in so many directions. I mean, they obviously know that there's great dissatisfaction, and they're not going to be able to do it just, at least at this stage, by repression. But if they can just keep people busy on so many fronts,
Right.
then in terms of the kind of big ticket out for corporations and uh, for the right wing organizations, that will allow them to proceed.
And
Uh,
wasn't that in the strategy book when they came in? Like, oh, we're just going to like tons and tons of executive orders, and we're going to just start, but so
well,
that
it
we
was
can't
project.
keep traffic.
They talked about Project 2025,
Right.
and I guess to some extent, you know, a lot of this falls in line with that. So I will, note that.
Somebody told me they've done two thirds of the stuff in Project 2025. They've already either done it or underway with it.
Hmm,
So it
Man.
looks like they're definitely using it.
Yeah,
right.
absolutely. Right. Wow. Uh,
Anyway, I'm gonna get back to my dinner.
right. Well, hey, Greg, so what we have left is I wanted to check in and see how, if there was any feedback from my facilitation of the county meeting Sunday.
I think it went fine. I mean,
Yeah, it was
you
great.
got through the agenda and we covered everything, and it was
Yeah, I think it went smooth, went quicker.
it went pretty smooth, and we didn't drag on anything, so people were happy at the end of the meeting. Yeah,
Okay.
You did a good job.
All right.
yeah,
Well, I won't obviously do it every week, but I will take some of the burden off of you so you don't have to do that.
yeah. That's great. That's great.
Right. And then for the record, too, recording our next week's movie night is Manufacturing Consent, about Noam Chomsky. We were back with SASU last month, and it went really well. It was a small group, but it was a good movie. Anything that kills fascists is good for me. And then also for the record, the October movie, we're going to really try to get to this. We're going to show Rabbit Proof Fence instead. We're going to change October's movie to Rabbit Proof Fence.
All right.
Everything else we talked about offline. And thanks, everyone. This is Vicente Cruz, Oakland Greens event and fundraising coordinator. And we will see people Sunday. And yeah, I guess we'll see you at Green Sunday, second Sunday of next month.
Yep. All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.